Hey guys, this is Crib Options, Tracy and Olivia. I'm behind the scenes today, but we have a really great topic for you. Olivia got a lot of good touch points, and we want to just kind of put everything out there. There's going to be a part one, and then we're going to do a duo, a part two by next week.
with some other ladies.
So, our topic today is when is a good time to relocate after retirement? Olivia?
Well, um, I think a good time to relocate after retirement is when you are ready to go, when you are ready to relocate. Um, no one knows how you feel in regards to wanting to leave or move but you and your partner, whoever you're with. You guys, sit down and discuss it and you decide what you want to do. Now, there are a lot of things that you have to think about. And I'd like to first say, I would like to send a shout out to my daughter, India, who is like the best child anybody could ever have. I'm very proud of her. She's a good person, good human being. She's a hustler like her mom. She takes care of herself. She takes care of her family. She's a hard worker. And I guess based on those things, it was a little bit easier for me to make my decision because of her being self sufficient and supportive of me making the move. So if you've retired or if you have a position where you can work from home and you just have that urge to just be somewhere else, and that somewhere else doesn't necessarily have to be out of the country, just somewhere else. You have to sit down and just basically decide for yourself what it is that you want to do, what you want.
So, are you saying there's no particular age? Some people feel like if they're 70 or 68 and maybe they're too old, or how do you feel about the age if you're a little bit older?
Well, living here in the Dominican Republic, has shown me that there is no age. I've met people 65, 70, 75. Our neighbor next door, I believe he told me he was 83,
Yes.
and he walks around here like he's 40 years old. He moves good and stuff like that. The weather is good for him, and so I've met people from all ages that have made the decision to relocate. So I don't think that age should be a factor, um, because if you're still waking up every morning and you're still breathing, then you're still making decisions.
Absolutely.
So I think that's important for you to put that in your spirit and remember that.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, Olivia, well, how do you cope? How does a person cope with living away from their family? Like, what are some points you can kind of put out there to help someone think about, like, if they're by themselves or even like you and I together, we still have our own personal, thoughts on how we feel without our families.
Well, you have to think about the time that you spend with your families, and it's precious. You enjoy your time with your family and stuff like that, but you get to a certain point in your life where your family, your children, um, they just have other things to do. Just like you, when you were that age, you had other things to do, and basically, and when it's time for you to go through a reset. So how I cope with it is that psychologically, I understand that my daughter is an adult and that she has her family, and they're doing their own thing, which is what they should be doing. I would be concerned. I have a 16-year-old grandson that drives. I would be concerned if my 16-year-old grandson did nothing but drive to my house every day. That would concern me. But the fact that he has other things going on, he does things with his friends and stuff like that, that makes me feel good because he's doing what he's supposed to do as a young man. But we thank God for modern technology,
Amen.
because between WhatsApp and Zoom and all this technology, my phone rings every day, and I get a chance to see I got six grandkids. I get an opportunity to see some of my grandkids every day, and that when that phone rings and I hit that little camera up, there's my daughter, my grandkids, my sister. I get to see family members that the ones that want to see me, I see them. And there are others that I never really did a lot of seeing in when I was in the States, but we send each other text messages and wellness text messages and stuff. So you get to the point where that's okay. Having that basically fills whatever void you may have in regards to missing your family. Yeah.
Okay. So, Olivia, you've been in the DR for 8 months.
Mhm.
How have you benefited from relocating here?
Well, I've benefited in so many ways. Um, my stress level has like almost disappeared. I was like working in a very stressful job. So, I get up every day and it's like I'm not stressed about anything. I've benefited. It has been a benefit to me mentally and psychologically. It's been a benefit to me physically. Um, as far as my health is better. I had problems with high cholesterol back in the United States. I'm having to eat dried fruit over here to raise my cholesterol because it's too low. It did a 360, and I've lost weight since I've been here. I'm still losing it, losing inches, still losing it, and just the food, the overall. You sit, you eat a big plate of food here, and in the States you eat a big plate of food, and all you want to do is go to bed afterwards. Well, because a lot of the food that we eat here is organic, we get through eating, we're ready to go do something. Like, I'm full. Let's go do something. It's like a complete 360 from what I was dealing with at home. And so just, the mental benefits, the physical benefit, the health benefit, the just all of that is it's just been good for me. I get the opportunity to continue living and live a different life in a different place, meeting people from all over the world. I've met people from all over the world, and we are having a really good time getting to know each other's culture. That's really like one of the most beautiful things living here, meeting these different people and learning their culture and how cool it is, you know? So,
And I know that I'm in the background, but if I can just add one thing from the back,
mhm,
I would say my opinion as far as our one-on-one relationship, I think that has I think it has increased in betterment because you become as one, because you're away from home, you're away from family, so it's just the two of you. So if it's one person that's on the fence, think about growing your relationship to the next level.
mhm.
This relocating or moving abroad or probably just to a different state altogether will really broaden your relationship with that person.
Absolutely. And like you said, you're not, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, leave the country. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you get to a point to where you need to make a move. You don't have to move out of the country and move to another state. You get with that person that's important to you or by yourself, and I guarantee you once you move away from some things that may not be good for you, your relationships and your relationship does get better because you don't have all those distractions that you may have in your space.
So how do you deal with negative response, Olivia, like from people regarding your move? And I know we didn't have a lot of negativity, thank
Hmm.
God, because we got families that really cared about us and supported us. But we hear a lot of people speaking about their families talking a lot of negativity about them moving, especially moving abroad.
That brings me to when you say that, I think about this book I read. I think it's by Pam Grout. I can't remember her name. Pam Grout, I think. But anyway, She was in this book that I read. This book that I read. She talks about how there was an experiment where they gave 100 people vouchers to travel anywhere in the world. And what they found, what was ironic, is that out of those 100 people, 80 of them traveled within the United States. 20% of them left the country. And of that 80% that let travel within the United States, more than half only went 2 to 3 hours from where they lived. And so everybody, this is not for everybody. And you either the 80% or you either the 20%. Unfortunately, you have some people within that 80% that have things to say about what it is you're trying to do, negative things that you're saying, and thinking that you're not making the best decision. These are usually the people, and ironically, these are usually the people that have never even left the state that they live in, or they may have went to one state. Those are usually the people that have a whole lot to say. And what I say to that is, you don't listen to that. That's just like taking relationship advice from a person who's been divorced 15 times.
Right.
Who does that? So, basically, I don't listen to things that these people say, and I'm not downing these folks as well. If you don't want to move, you're happy with traveling within the state, you're happy with not going anywhere. If I can respect you doing that, then I think that you need to respect what I'm doing. If you can't respect what I'm doing, I don't care whether you respect it or not. So that said, I don't let what they say affect me. I'm thankful that pretty much everybody in our families was supportive of our decision to do this, and we weren't influenced by anybody. At the end of the day, like I said with the first question, it's up to us what we want to do. Nobody, tricked us into coming over here or whatever. It was a decision that we made based on what we wanted to do and what we needed for ourselves to be able to enjoy this next phase of everything.
Okay, so Olivia, last question. What would you like to say to the children or the grandchildren? And I don't think that these people are being negative, but have high concern for their parent or their grandparent. What would you like to say to those kids, grandkids, or just the children?
If you're someone watching now and you have parents that have retired, look at how your parents are living, and take a good look at your parents, your mom, your dad, and honestly check on them to see if they're happy. And what I mean by that is, if you just sit them down and say, "Hey, look, are you guys happy with living here, or do you want to start traveling?
Speak
You want
on
us to
it.
start watching your house if you want to travel for a couple of months?" The great thing to do would be the selfless thing to do would be to sit down and say to your parents, "Listen, let us know what you want to do. We support you if you want to travel. You've done a great job raising us. You're not responsible for raising us your entire life. We're adults. We're self-sufficient. We can take care of ourselves. If you guys want to go and do things, you go and do things. You can keep up with the grandkids via Zoom or WhatsApp and talk with them and come back and visit or whatever. Don't feel like you're abandoning us, because you're not abandoning us. Some people have said that their children felt like they were abandoning them, and it's okay to feel the way you feel. I'm not trying to tell you not to feel, but if you've been raised to an adult, then you're not being abandoned. Your parents, I had my daughter young, and a lot of sacrifice was made, and I wouldn't trade a minute of it. I'm glad everything that happened because it made me the person I am. It made my daughter the person she is, and we're good. And so just sit down and check yourself and ask yourself, okay, are my parents, is my mom, is my dad happy where they are right now? And you can tell, just like your parents can tell when you're not happy and you got something going on. You can tell when your parents aren't happy or they have something going on. They just may be hanging on, and they may need to hear you say. They may need to hear you say it.
Speak on it.
Mom, dad, y'all want to go somewhere? Go. We'll be all right. You'll give us some place to come and visit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think my last word is life is not over after retirement.
Life is not over after retirement. Your life without all the hustle and bustle, the corporate, the having to get the education. You got to think about the things that your parents went through. We we have gone through some things being being who we are in this world, and to come through it and be able to be at a point where you can go somewhere beautiful. Here in the Dominican Republic, it's beautiful here, and the people are beautiful. And to be somewhere where you can get out and go someplace and sit at a restaurant, and there's people from all over the world, and feel safe while you're sitting there. And I think that after raising children, that parents should have the opportunity to experience that. And I think that children should understand it, because if you are blessed, you will be here where we are sooner than you think. I can remember it being 25 like it was 3 days ago. And I just turned 60. So it goes by, and just tell yourself the truth. One day you're going to be sitting on the other side of that table, and your kids are going to be adults, and you're going to be and they're going to be going on about their business, doing what they want to do, which is what they should be doing. And you're going to be sitting trying to figure out what you want to do for yourself, and you're going to want them to be understanding about your decision as well. So karma. Yeah, that's it. So we're gonna have a part two. We're gonna have a couple other ladies tell their stories in regards to relocating and their mindset about it. So look forward to part two. Don't forget to like, subscribe,
And share.
And also a quick plug about our co-hosting services that we provide. We have clients that we co-host for, Airbnb co-hosts. We do bill pay. We're paying bills for people who live in other countries and want their utilities paid. We take care of that for them. So that's starting to happen real good. So if you need anything, our information will be down in the information area, and let us know what you need. We're here for you.
Till next time.
Till next time. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.